Hello everyone, welcome to what I think will be the first video in January of 2024. So I just finished watching the prompts for the buzzword. So I have a cup of hot chocolate. This is the Stevens brand mint truffle. Love that. All the other brands are just okay in my opinion. Stevens is the way to go. My favorite is the mint truffle as well as the candy cane flavor. I also really like Stevens brand apple cider. But it's finally cooled down enough that I can drink it. Okay, I am gonna try. Do I have another? Well, this will work. Okay. I'm going to try to do a screen record on my computer. Okay, I think I've got it screen recording, so we'll see. If this doesn't work, then I'll have to redo it. So I want to look to see what books are coming out in February as of right now. So today is December 14th. So let's see what books are expected now. The titles may change, the covers could change, the dates could get pushed back. So I have, wrong mouse, I have this pulled up on my computer here. Let's see, can't miss February 2024 book releases. I want specifically... Here we go, Goodreads, February 2024 releases. Looks like there's 23 books. So let's see what's coming out in February and what I want to pre-order. So I'm just gonna open these up in a new tab. So we have Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. This is book number 1 in the Empire of the Vampire series. And this is set to be released February 29th. So, Empire of the Vampire, I don't think I tried to read that. I had a copy, DNF'd it, unhauled it. I do want to try reading it again because I think I just tried to read it at a time that wasn't right for me and I thought I just didn't like it, but it keeps coming back into my mind. So at some point I would like to try that, but because I have not read the first one, I will be passing on this one until I've read the first one to know if I really like it or not. Okay, next up we have something called A Cursed Sun. Open a new tab. But okay, so A Cursed Sun by Day Liato. But see, this one says March 6th, so let's get out of that. Call of the Sea. Why is my... There we go. Okay. February 13th, 2024. Call of the Sea by Emily B. Rose. Fantasy retelling. Little Mermaid retelling meets Brave. Oh, I love both of those. Debut new adult fantasy romance about a fat human princess who dreams of a life of adventure on the ocean. Perfect for fans of Carrie Maniscalco and Legends and Lattes. I have not read any of those. Kenna has never wanted the life ahead of her. Trapped in her castle and married to someone she does not love. She dreams of a life of adventure, exploring the ocean, searching for mermaids. Except mermaids don't exist. At least, that's what she has always been told. Unfortunately, her plans for exploration are thwarted. Every heir must wed, and with war on the horizon, her time is up. 5 suitors are vying for her hand. But Kenna vowed never to marry someone only after her crown. Only one of them doesn't seem to care about her title, refusing to even use it. Just as she begins to consider opening up to him, he disappears. Kenna chases after him and learns his secret. Before a storm wrecks her boat, finding herself stranded on an island with him, Kenna has no choice but to trust him to nurse her back to health. With the tension growing and sparks she doesn't trust flying between them, Kenna has to decide how to balance the desires of her heart, and her duty to her people. and how far she's willing to go to learn the whole truth. Now, I am interested in that, but not to the point that I want to pre-order it. So I have marked that as want to read. Let's see. Okay, now there's a book without a cover called It's Complicated. Is that scheduled? Okay, this is scheduled to come out February 23rd. It's Complicated by Camilla Isley. No, as you can see, there is, as long as the screen record is working, there is no cover yet. Let's see, Lori has been in love with her best friend Aiden since college. Now Aiden, handsome, fair, all-American dream doctor, is getting married, and Lori desperately needs a date to the wedding. So she asks the best man, Jace, tall, dark, and brooding, to pretend their platonic friendship is something more, not to have to face the worst day of her life alone. Fake dating one best friend to forget the other should be easy. Plot twist, it's not. When Jace starts acting like the sweetest, most attentive boyfriend, Lori begins to wonder if she's been seeing him wrong all this time. They've been an inseparable trio since freshman year, but now everything is changing, and that's not even the beginning. Jace's faces feelings into the mix. Basically, it's complicated. I'm more intrigued on this one than the other one, but I want to see the cover, because sometimes that'll kind of sway me on, yes, I want to pre-order, or I'm going to skip it and wait till it comes out, kind of get a feeling for it, type of a thing. Okay, another book listed here is The Fortune Seller, February 13th. Cover's fine, not my favorite. Looks like this is a thriller mystery, adult, and yeah. Okay. Middle class Rosie McAllister has worked for years to fit in with her wealthy friends on the Yale equestrian team. But when she comes back from her junior year abroad with newfound confidence, she finds the group has been infiltrating the mysterious Annalise Tattinger. A talented tarot reader and a brilliant writer, the Annalise is unlike anyone Rosie has ever met. But when one of their friends notices money disappearing from her bank account, Annalise's place in the circle is thrown into question. As the women turn against each other, the group's unspoken tensions and assumptions lead to devastating consequences. It's only after graduation, when Rosie begins a job at a Manhattan hedge fund, that she begins to uncover Annalise's true identity, and how her place in their elite Yale set was no accident. Is it too late for Rosie to make right what went wrong, or does everyone's luck run out at some point? Okay, I'm intrigued. So, let me... Okay, I think, do I have... Okay, I already have a couple of pre-orders for February, so I'm just taking a screenshot. Okay, I think that's all I have. Okay, so I'm just on my phone. I'm going to type this in, The Fortune Seller. And this is by Rachel Kapelke Dale. I'm sure I said that wrong. And I'm going to pre-order that, because that sounds really good. Okay, that is pre-ordered. Moving on. 14 Days by the Authors Guild. February 6th is the release date for that one. This is a collection of short stories, and it is fiction, contemporary, adult anthology. Let's see. 1 week into the COVID-19 shutdown, tenants of a Lower East Side apartment building in Manhattan have begun to gather on the rooftop and tell stories. With each passing night, more and more neighbors gather, bringing chairs and milk cartons and overturned pails. Gradually, the tenants, some of whom have barely spoken to each other, become real neighbors. In this Decameron-like serial novel, authors, general editor Margaret Atwood, Authors Guild presents Douglas Preston, and a star-studded list of contributors created a beautiful ode to people who couldn't get away from the city when the pandemic hit. Again, okay, this is definitely one that sounds intriguing, but I'm okay to wait on it, type of a thing. Okay, this is one that I think was probably pushed back. This one, this is not one that I have pre-ordered, right? Piece of paper. Okay, I don't think this is one I have pre-ordered. Let's see, February. No, but I've seen this cover, and I do really like this cover. A Tempest of Tea. This is book number 1 in the Blood and Tea series by Hafsa Fazal. This is a young adult. Okay, vampires. I'm intrigued. Fantasy, historical fiction. On the streets of White Roaring, Arthi Casimir is a criminal mastermind and collector of secrets. Her prestigious tea room transforms into an illegal bloodhouse by dark, catering to the vampires feared by society. But when her establishment is threatened, Arthi is forced to strike an unlikely deal with an alluring adversary to save it, and she can't do the job alone. Calling upon a band of misfits, Arthi formulates a plan to infiltrate the dark and glittering vampire society known as the Aetherium. But not every member of her crew is on her side, and the truth behind the heist unfolds. Arthi finds herself in the midst of a conspiracy that will threaten the world as she knows it. Okay, I've seen this. I think I've seen this pop up a couple of times on like Instagram, because I do recall the cover, and I am intrigued. A Tempest of Tea. So again, that is set to be released February 20th. Okay, that is one I want. Okay, ordered now. This Day Changes Everything by Edward Underhill. February 13th, this is LGBT, young adult, romance. Looks like transgender. I don't know if that's the only LGBT in that or not. Abby Ackerman believes in the universe. After all, her Midwest high school marching band is about to perform in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. If that's not proof that magical things can happen, what is? New York also happens to be the setting of her favorite romance novel, making it the perfect place for Abby to finally tell her best friend Kat that she's in love with her and, gay. She's carefully annotated a copy of the book as a gift for Kat, and she's counting on the universe to provide an epic scene worthy of her own rom-com. Coming out story. Now this is sounding sweet. Leo Brewer, on the other hand, just wants to get through this trip without falling apart. He doesn't believe the universe is magical at all, mostly because he's about to be outed to his very southern extended family on national TV as the trans boy he really is. That makes me uncomfortable. Someone being outed like that, that thought makes me uncomfortable. He's not excited for the parade, and he's even less excited for an entire day of sightseeing with his band. But the universe has other ideas. When the fate throws Abby and Leo together on the wrong subway train, they soon find themselves lost in the middle of Manhattan. Even worse, Leo accidentally causes Abby to lose her epic gift for Kat. So to salvage the day, they come up with a new mission. Find a souvenir from every location mentioned in the book for Abby to give Kat instead. I wonder if there's going to be romance between the two. But as Leo and Abby traverse the city, from the streets of Chinatown to the halls of Grand Central Station and the top of the Empire State Building, their initial expectations for the trip and of each other begin to shift. Maybe if they let it, this could be the day that changes everything for both of them. Okay, this sounds good. I do want to read it, but it's kind of one of those things that I need to let it sit to know if I want my own copy or like physical copy, or try it with an ebook first. Now, okay, this next one, The Blueprint by Ray Gianna Rashand, I won a arc of this one. So I have an arc, so this one I will be able to read the arc first to know if I want to get a final copy. So The Blueprint by Ray Gianna Rashad. I'm sorry, I know I'm saying that wrong. Let's see. Is a fiction, and it's a literary fiction expected to come out February 13th. It says, Celine Bonnet lives in Texas where choice no longer exists. So that gives me dystopian vibes just from that sentence. An algorithm determines a black woman's occupation, spouse, and residence. She finds solace in penning the biography of Henriette, an ancestor who's been an enslaved concubine to a wealthy planter in 1800s Louisiana. But history repeats itself when Celine, lovely and naive, finds herself entangled with Bastien Martin, a high-ranking government official. So I do want to read that one, and I do own an arc for that. I just got to get to it. Okay, With a Little Luck. This is by Marissa Meyer. Oh, I like this author. But there is a contributor. So is this a collection? Anyway, romance, contemporary, fantasy, young adult. Expected to release February 13th. And I like Marissa Meyer, but not she has other books out that I would like to read and I'm interested in, but I'm not at a rush to go and get those as of right now. And I'm thinking, with the way the cover looks and knowing that it's Marissa Meyer, I'm kind of thinking this falls in the same lines. I'm intrigued and I do want to read it just because it is Marissa Meyer, but do I want my own physical copy? Not sure yet. Jude is determined to fly under the radar. He just wants to draw his comics, host regular D&D night with his friends, work at his parents' vinyl record store, and escape high school as unscathed as possible. That is, what did my mouse do there? Anyway, that is until the night he comes across a mysterious 20-sided dice and finds himself inexplicably gifted with a bout of supernatural good luck. Suddenly, everything Jude has ever wanted is within reach. His first art submission is accepted to his favorite fanzine. He helps his friend's song become a finalist in a songwriting competition, and he's the 100th caller to a local radio contest, winning him a pair of coveted concert tickets, which he uses to ask out the popular girl he's been crushing on since elementary school. For a few blissful weeks, he feels invincible. But when he loses the magic dice at a local music festival, his luck takes a turn for the worse. He struggles to reclaim his good fortune while fighting off long-buried feelings for his best friend, who is definitely not the girl he's supposed to be in love with. Can Jude risk stepping into the spotlight long enough to win the true girl of his dreams, or is he doomed to be unlucky in love forever? Now that does sound sweet, I do admit that, and I do want to read that. I'm just kind of on the fence with buying that one. Now, looks like there's a third one in a series, so let's just look at this one real quick. All This Twisted Glory by Tahara Mafi. This is book number 3 in this Woven Kingdom. Expected to be released February 6th. I have not read the first one, so I'm going to skip that one. The last one by Rachel Housel Hall. This one I think I have already pre-ordered. Let's see. Oh no, I have one with another moth or a butterfly on it that, okay, this is not one that I've already pre-ordered. It's just, the cover is similar to one that I have pre-ordered. So this one is The Last One by Rachel Halsell Hall. Expected release date, this is July, so why is this in February? Let's go ahead and move on. The Last Days of the Midnight Ramblers by Sarah Tomlinson. Let's see. February 13th. This is a historical fiction with music. I do like books that are about music or have music as a theme. And that has cooled down a lot. Okay. Now there's one thing that kind of puts me off on this one a little bit. Perfect for fans of Daisy Jones and the Six and Almost Famous, a gripping debut about the complicated legacy of a legendary rock band and the ghostwriter telling their story. I am not a fan. Taylor Jenkins Reid, I've read 3 books by Taylor Jenkins Reid. My favorite of the 3 or 4. My favorite of the ones that I have read has been Carrie Soto is Back, but even then it was just okay. So I think Taylor Jenkins Reid is just kind of like a lukewarm author for me, just kind of meh. I could probably be fine and not feel like I'm missing out on any of their writing. I'm willing to give this one a try, but because it says it's perfect for fans of Daisy Jones and the Six, I'm going to hold off and probably check it out from the library before I even try anything, or wait until it's like at a really good deal for Kindle. 3 rock and roll icons, 2 explosive tell-all memoirs, 1 ghostwriter caught in the middle. Anka Bourbon is ready to tell all, a legendary model and style icon. She revealed in headline-grabbing romances with not 1 but 3 members of the hugely influential rock band the Midnight Ramblers. The band members were as famous for their backstage drama as for their music, and Anka is the only one who fully understands the tangled relationships, betrayals, and suspicions that have added to the Ramblers' enduring appeal and mystique. That is most evident in the mystery around Anka's role in the death of Mal, the band's founder and Anka's husband, in 1969. Now that does pique my interest more, where there's going to be a little mystery around a death. When Mari Hawthorne accepts the job to work with Anka on her memoir, she is dead set on getting to the truth of Mal's death. She has always been deft at navigating the fatal charms of celebrities, having grown up with a narcissistic alcoholic father. As she integrates herself into the world of the band, she grows enchanted, against her better judgment, by these legendary rock stars. She knows she can't get pulled in too deep, otherwise she'll compromise her objectivity and her integrity. Okay. Okay, here's one further on in a series, so I'm not going to read the synopsis. Expected, but this one's already out. June 7th. I'm going to pull up another window. See, now there's a list from like Goodreads, but it's all romance. But I don't want all romance. See, and this doesn't list dates, genre, age, 2 pages. Okay, We're just going to go with this one list that I found with Goodreads. Next up is I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Anne Lang. Probably said that wrong. February 6th. Romance, young adult, contemporary. Sadie Wen is perfect on paper. School captain, valedictorian, and a pleasure to have in class. It's not easy, but she has a trick to keep her model student smile plastered on her face at all times. She channels all her frustrations into her email drafts. She'd never send them, of course. She'd rather die than hurt anyone's feelings. But it's a relief to let loose of her power-hungry English teacher or a free-loading classmate taking credit for Sadie's work. All her most vehemently worded emails are directed at her infuriating captain, Julius Gong, whose arrogance and competitive streak have irked Sadie since they were kids. You're attention-starved and self-obsessed and unbearably vain. I really hope your comb breaks and you run out of whatever expensive hair products you've been using to make your hair appear deceptively soft. Sadie doesn't have to hold back in her emails because nobody will ever read them. That is, until they're accidentally sent out. Overnight, Sadie's carefully crafted conflict-free life is turned upside down. It's her worst nightmare. Now everyone at school knows what she really thinks of them, and they're not afraid to tell her what they really think of her either. But amidst the chaos, there's one person growing to appreciate the real Sadie, Julius, the only boy she's sworn to hate. Again, one of those ones that it's like, I'm not feeling the I gotta buy now type of a sensation. I'm just curious, how long is this? Oh, we're getting to the end of the list. Okay. No additional pages. Everyone Who Can Forgive Me Is Dead. Written by Jenny Hollander. I'm intrigued by that title and the cover. February 6th is the expected release date. This is a thriller mystery. Ooh, I kicked you. I am sorry. I did not mean to do that. I am sorry. I did not mean to kick the tripod. Okay. Already I'm intrigued just by the cover and the title. So let's read the synopsis and see if this is going to push me into the, like, I'm teetering on the edge. Do I want to buy this one? Do I want to pre-order it? What if everything you know about the worst night of your life turns out not to be true? 9 years ago, with the world's eyes on hers, Charlie Colbert fled. The press and the police called Charlie a witness to the nightmarish events at her elite graduate school on Christmas Eve. Events known to the public as Scarlet Christmas, though Charlie knows she was much more than that. Now, Charlie has meticulously rebuilt her life. She's the editor-in-chief of a major magazine, engaged to the golden child of the publishing industry, and hell-bent on never ever letting her guard down again. But when a buzzy film made by one of Charlie's former classmates threatens to shatter everything she's worked for, Charlie realizes how much she's changed in 9 years. Now she's not going to let anything, not even the people she once loved most, get in her way. Yes, I want that one. Okay. Everyone Who Can. Everyone Who Can Forgive Me Is Dead. Okay. All right. I got that one ordered. I want that. Okay. This next one is book number 2 in a series. All right. In the Riley Fisher series by Aaron Young, Original Sins. This is a mystery thriller expected to be released February 13th. I want to see what book 1 is called, The Fields. I have not read that, so I'm going to move on to the next book. Amazing Octopus, Creature from an Unknown World by Michael Stavarek. Okay, now this is a nonfiction, so I'm going to skip on this one, although it is only 144 pages for the hardcover. The expected release date is February 27th. So if you like octopuses, maybe. A delightful exploration of the fascinating octopus, taking young minds on an interactive journey of discovery. Okay, so this is going to be maybe a middle grade or a young adult, because it does say young minds. So I'm going to pass on this one. If I see it at a bookstore or the library and pick it up, that's one thing, but I think I will skip. This is the one I have pre-ordered, I think. Heartless Hunter. Let's see, I'm just checking. Yes, this one is one I have already pre-ordered. The ETA is, or release date is February 20th. And this is The Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. Looks like this is going to be a new series titled The Crimson Moth. Fantasy, young adult, romance with witches, magic, retelling, and paranormal. Okay. A steamy game of cat and mouse between witch and witch hunter played out against the backdrop of opulence, secrets, and bloody history. One night, Rune's life changed forever. Blood ran in the streets. Now, in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. I like vigilante stories. When a rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp, a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution, who she can't help but find herself falling for. Gideon loathes the decadence and superficiality Rune represents, but when he learns the Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant ships to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he inserts himself into her social circles by pretending to court her right back. Deceit from both sides. Okay. He soon realizes that beneath her beauty and shallow facade is someone fiercely intelligent and tender who feels like his perfect match. Except, what if she's really the villain he's been hunting? I have that one already pre-ordered, and it sounds good. Okay, this next one is the 5th book in a series. So let's just look at it real quick. Sunny Makes Her Case. This is book number 5 in the Sunny series, written by Jennifer L. Holm. This is a middle grade graphic novel expected to be released February 6th. All right, moving on from that one. Okay, we have the first one in a series, Infinity Alchemist, written by Kaysen Callender. Fantasy, young adult, LGBT, and transgender urban fantasy. Okay, I really like the cover on this. All right. For Ashwoods, practicing alchemy is a crime. Only an elite few are legally permitted to study the science of magic. So when Ash is rejected by the Lancaster Mages College, he takes a job as the school's groundskeeper, instead forced to learn alchemy in secret. When he's discovered by the condescending and brilliant apprentice Ramsay Thorne, Ash is sure he's about to be arrested, but instead of calling the Reds, Ramsay surprises Ash by making him and Ramsay will keep Ash's secret if he helps her find the legendary Book of Source, a sacred text that gives its reader extraordinary power. That made no sense. Ramsay surprises Ash by making him and Ramsay will keep Ash's secret if he helps her fight. That makes no sense. So that puts me off of the book, just to kind of make sure I'm going to understand things a little bit. As Ash and Ramsay work together and their feelings for each other grow, Ash discovers their mission is more dangerous than he imagined, pitting them against influential and powerful alchemists, Ash's estranged father included. Ash's journey takes him through the cities and wilds across New Angela, forcing him to discover his own definition of true power and how far he and other alchemists will go to see it. Okay, I'm partially intrigued. I'm just a little hesitant because that whole sentence on the synopsis confused me. And now I'm not sure if I'm fully understanding what it is about. So I'm going to wait to hear a better synopsis of it to know for sure if this is going to be a book. Either way, I'm intrigued by just the cover, so I want to pick it up. But to buy my own copy, I'm going to wait until I hear a better synopsis to make sure I'm understanding what it is about. Okay, Coyote Lost and Found. This estimated date, release date. Now this one's in March, so let's go ahead and move on. So that got pushed back. And then the last one on this list is The Boyfriend. I do know there's other books that are set to be released in February, so this isn't all of them. The Boyfriend, this one came out in January, so I don't know. Let's try this tag. Okay, see now this is the tag on Goodreads for February 2024. There's only a few, but some of these are already out or aren't coming out until after February. Okay, so now there are some that I do actually have pre-ordered already. So let's tell you about those ones. Okay, Whisper of Poison by Jess Lowry. The expected release date is February 6th. This is a young adult fantasy. I don't see anything. It says, note to pre-order now and receive the stunning limited first edition run featuring beautiful red sprayed painted edges. It's only available for a limited time. John Wick meets The Giver in this post-apocalyptic teen survival young adult novel from best-selling author Jess Lowry. So I like The Giver and I like dystopian and post-apocalyptic books. So this one I do have pre-ordered, but I don't know what it's about. But I do have this one pre-ordered. And this was now disgusting because, I mean, still good, but it's cold. And cold hot chocolate is not good, in my opinion. Okay. What else do I have? Okay, so February 6th for that one. This next one, Long Way Down by Christina and Becca Ritchie, is book number 4 in the Calloway Sisters series. This is a steamy adult romance or new adult. It says it was first published November 20th, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a re-release. So, but it's arriving February 7th according to my thing. And let's see. All right, let's go to this one. The next 3 on my list are ones that you saw me pre-order. Let's see. My Throat and Open Grave. This one is by Tori Babliano. Expected release date February 20th. This is a young adult horror, fantasy, paranormal retelling thriller. Leah Jones has no hope for a future outside of Winston, Pennsylvania. She's on the verge of dropping out of high school, barely balancing her job at the gas station with her duty to care for her baby brother, Owen. But when Owen is taken by the Lord of the Wood, Leah must face the dangers of the wood to write a song that will win Owen back, and the truth of how her life went so very wrong. Sounds good to me. Okay, this next one is further on in a series, but it's a cozy mystery series, so I can read the synopsis to you. 5 Furry Familiars by Lynn Cahoon. This is book number 5 in the Kitchen Witch Mysteries series. I am absolutely loving this series. Expected release date is February 20th. In the latest enchanting mystery, okay, Mia Malone is working as a catering director at a ski lodge, but when her roommate's ex checks in, everything starts going downhill. To keep her cooking school and catering business, Mia's morsels afloat, Mia's handed off oversight to her boyfriend Trent's mother while she focuses on earning a steady paycheck. Too bad her mean-spirited boss at the lodge keeps the misery flowing as steadily as the money. At least her roommate, Christina, is still dedicated to Mia's morsels, though she's also distracted thanks to her clingy mother's constant demands. And the distraction only grows when Christina's old flame shows up in Magic Springs, Idaho, in his Escalade, claiming out of the blue to be her fiancé. Now, Christina, it's mentioned in either the prequel to the whole series or book 1 that Christina is autistic. So you do have an autistic character. It doesn't come up a lot because it's just part of who she is, it's just one additional thing, but there's much more depth to the character. But she is a side character, a main side character, but a side character nonetheless. The arrival of some homeless kittens, as well as Trent's new familiar, a cute little Maltese, brings more chaos, as well as strange spiritual energy that seems to emanate from the animals. But before Mia can figure out what kind of paranormal pets she has on her hands, she finds herself with a murder to solve, when a dead woman is found in the lodge rental of Christina's suddenly attentive ex. Yeah, that was a no-brainer. And that's the last one. So I only pre-ordered with you, 3 books? And then I have 4 that I've already pre-ordered or something like that. But yeah, that is it. Let me know. Are there some books that, for whatever reason, I'm sure I missed a whole bunch. So are you aware of any books that you're excited for that will be coming out in February? Let me know. Are any of these books on your radar to try to get your hands on, to read a copy of? Let me know. Talk to me in the comments section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.